It's the mom life.
Hey everyone, welcome to another Living in the Moment with B.
And Steph, hi guys, happy Monday.
Yes, happy Monday. And I'm like, oh, my light. Are you still having trouble with your ring light?
I mean, I don't know if it's trouble. I've turned it down a bunch of notches, so hopefully the blinking has slowed down.
Well, and mine, because mine's a stand and it has like a neck where you put the phone, but the neck, it's just not working anymore. Like it has no muscle, it's weak, and my phone keeps
it's
like,
worn down.
yes. And so now I have to have it way up high, and I don't like the way it looks, but that's just what it is. And
That's
I
showbiz, baby. Just
That's
kidding.
right, baby. Showbiz for, for a handful of listeners,
Right.
for our moms and our cousins.
I feel like I just posted something like this week that's like me when I laugh at my own jokes and the girl's just cracking up. That just reminded me of that.
Oh, you actually even said it last episode. You're like, oh, I cracked myself up.
Yeah. Oh, we both think we're hilarious. Well, we make each other laugh anyway, so
Yes, we do. And
a
you know
win's a
what?
win.
I was thinking of that because I'm like, I know we don't have a ton of listeners, but this is my time with Steph, and I like it.
Right? We just have fun.
And we do always say like we're busy, but last time we it was dinner time, y'all, and so we had to hurry, make dinner, come record, go feed the kids, like. But this is important, and
Yeah.
we want to make time for it. And I've been sad because I started looking at the old videos, and I'm like, oh, you can see when I started going back into the office because I don't curl my hair, I don't like
Mm,
fix up like when I had the time. Now it's like a quick little bun in the back, and yeah,
I didn't even notice, but yeah, it gets rough.
yeah.
Life is busy. Um, Kind of what we're talking about, I think it ties into my thoughts on it anyway. Today we're talking about friends after you become a mom and like how your friendships evolve and new friendships and just that whole part of your life after motherhood.
Yes, and I feel like we've touched on friendships before, a- and I am such a mom because I was thinking when we started talking about, oh, let's talk about friends, my initial thought was like, oh, socializing the toddlers, that's so important. And so that's where my mind went with that. But it is
Is
I
that what you thought we were talking about up until this exact
yes,
second?
so I'm like, okay, that's what we're doing. But we can talk about each other.
B goes on the fly.
Well, we had a different topic, and then last minute I was outside with
And
the
then I was
chickens. Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, I have no thoughts on this. We have to do something else.
And
So, yeah.
I'm outside chasing chickens in the sun, so I'm like, all right, girl, let me go in. But yes,
That's too
mom friends are
funny.
important.
So important. And one thing that I thought was, I don't know, I kind of like took myself through my friend groups. And I will say, like, I think we're very lucky in that all of our friends, like, our little group, and not just our little group, like, I have another friend, Evan, my friend from high school. Him and his wife actually had a baby, like, what, 6 weeks after I had Maddie. So we were able to like really still connect on that. And then you guys, like you had JJ already for what, about a year when Daisy and I had the girls, and then Daisy and I were able to connect on a whole different level because we were pregnant at the same time. And then Elena came along and like started hanging. We all just became a little group. And so I don't, like, I feel like definitely that was like the luckiest thing that could have happened to me. Like nobody gets that. You know what I mean?
No, it's so important because literally growing up, I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to have kids. And everyone around me already has their kids. So I'm like, I'm probably just going to be, if I do get the chance, I'm going to be an old mom by myself. And everyone's kids, like most of my friends, their kids are in high school already, maybe some in middle school, but majority are in high school or graduating. My cousin's baby just graduated. He's not a baby, he's a baby to us. And I'm like, dang, my kid's not even in pre-K. But I feel like life just knows, you know, when to put certain people into your life. And we've said this before. Steph and I worked together in a different city. She moved to a larger city where we are now. I eventually moved over here, what, 2 years after you, maybe,
Yeah.
and maybe a year, I'm not sure, but I happened to interview where she's at, not knowing that she's there. And I just feel like that's just life lending us a hand. And then now we're like moms in our 30s, all with toddlers. And it's just been so amazing. I love it.
It really has, but I feel like we're so lucky because you know what I see a lot of the time. I know you're not on Facebook, and I like get on and off because I get annoyed, so I deactivate my page, a lot of times. But I'll get back on, and a lot of what I see in these mom groups that I'm in is like local groups anyway, is like, I'm a mom, how do I make friends? Like, I need friends. Does anyone want to hang out? Can we meet at the park? I have a 18-month-old, whatever it is. Like, looking for a connection. It's not that easy, I think, for a lot of the time for moms to find other moms to hang out with and for their kids to hang out with. Like, that's difficult.
No, I think you're right. And I do feel like very full to have y'all in my life because I will say we were at my son, he takes swimming lessons, and so we were at his swim lesson. My husband's in there swimming with him. I'm out watching and recording and cheering him on. But there was a mom who was trying to talk to me, and I'm like, look, lady, I already have friends. I'm just kidding. I didn't tell her that. But it was like we were talking and we were connected and it was cute. But I'm like, I'm good, man. Like, no new friends. I
Yeah.
don't know. I just feel so fulfilled that I didn't even think until I left, like, oh, maybe she's lonely or maybe she doesn't have friends or maybe she was just making small talk. I don't know. But she was chatting away and I'm like, trying to record my baby right here, like
Right.
so I don't know. So I
And
do feel very full in our friendships.
nobody's ever approached me. There was a mom at the park the other day where I was with a little toddler too. And I didn't like make an effort to talk to her, but I was, her little boy was talking to me because we were all playing in the same area. So I was like talking to him, like, he's like, hi, watch this. And I'm like, oh, hi, buddy. Like, that's so cool. Good job. And like, I felt like that could have been a moment for her to maybe like, oh, how old's your, or something, just like something there. I don't know. But she was just on her phone. So I was kind of like, okay, well, she doesn't want to talk. Which is fine. But anyway, my point is like, nobody's ever tried to be my friend like that, like in those settings. But also it's hard, like it's hard to just open yourself up and talk to someone new, whether it's a mom group or just trying to make new friends in general. So I don't know, I could see how it could be really difficult.
Yeah, I think, and even like I mean, I talk to moms all the time when we're out in the park but it's small little remarks like you said, and then we just kind of pass by each other. I feel like I thrive off those moments, like make little small talk and laugh, and it's cute and keep it moving. But I
Yeah.
think for me, it is harder. Like I'm a clam, and to like open up and like I mean, this was a full on 30-minute conversation, and I'm like, okay, like being friendly, but I'm like I just wasn't mentally prepared at 9 o'clock that this was going to happen. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it just felt a little heavy, but then I wasn't rude. Obviously, we talked, and I'm probably going to see them all the time. Hopefully, you don't follow me, but I'm just saying, like, I didn't think about it till later, like, oh, maybe she really needed that, and
Well, everyone's also just so, we're all so busy, that I don't think anyone is intentionally being rude. I would hope a lot of the time in those settings. It's just everyone's caught up in their own lives that you're not even really thinking, that maybe someone else is making this effort or whatever the case is.
yeah, and I think because I've been going to the office more, like, I just miss JJ so much. And so I just wanted to record him. Like
Yeah.
not that she bothered me. It's just I wasn't like, sometimes you're around your kid all the time. You're like, okay, I need a little me time. I need a little but I just wanted to be in the zone because so it's also circumstantial, I just think
But
but
I get that because I have a really hard time with small talk. Like, if it's not us or like someone that I'm super comfortable with, I have a hard time with small talk. I don't know. Like if it's just a stranger, and Saul is so different. My husband's so different. Like he can sit at a bar and just
Oh,
start, will go sit at a bar top and he'll be just talking away to the person next to us about who knows what. And I'm like, just, I can't do that. I can't do that. That's all I'll say on that. I have a very hard time with that.
yes, my husband is definitely more of a socializer. He's a social butterfly, and I'm a straight homebody. Like, I do like
Yeah.
going out, I do like traveling, I love all of that, but I still like to stay in my little circle while I'm doing all of that. I don't know. We're partially introverted, and so
Maybe it's that. I feel like the just being at home 24/7 and like, first the office was cut off. Then I don't know if I just go backward through the last 10 years, I graduated school, I started a job. You just like run into less and less scenarios where you have to be kind of outgoing. Like, so I don't know. I think that kind of contributes to it too.
yeah, and I think because we're also very private, like that's just who we are, and here we are with the podcast. But for the most part, we don't share like deep things about our life. Like we
Yeah.
leave a lot of our chapters sealed and closed, and those books are put away, and y'all just get this little chapter of us of just a little bit of the mom side. But I would say I think we're both very private because even like Steph and I knew each other in a job before, and we weren't like besties before. It was just like, oh hey, hi, okay,
We
pass
hardly
by.
knew each other. Yeah, like just who each other was basically. And
Yeah.
sometimes, and it was a huge office too. There was like over 200 people in there. Um, but but then, yeah, when you came to Albuquerque and just happened to sit next to me, you're like, oh yeah, I do. Like we did work together, and then wait, we click good. Like
Yeah, we were the
we're
same person.
similar. Yeah, so that was kind
Yeah,
of
we
funny.
sat like across from each other at like our old job, and just little smiles in the morning, whatever. She went in a little earlier than me. I actually spoke to her husband more than I did with her because at one time I was administration up front, so I got to speak to a lot of leadership, and he was leader or supervisor, I don't even know what they're called. But yeah, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, you come from this office and we have a girl that used to work there. I'm like, okay. So it was during my interview, and they sent me, and they're like, if you pass, she'll be your trainer, and it was Steffi. And
Yeah,
so
which
it
is
was
just
cool.
so lucky, like kismet, right? Like just such a happy coincidence.
Yeah.
But you know what I was thinking too is like it's not like we hang out often, like
Right.
any of us really. I think you and Daisy probably hang out the most out of anyone. But I feel like just having like even our group chat, and we're not in there like talking crap all day. Like we're not complaining. It's just like even for example, right now, like Elena, before we logged on here, sent the group chat this message like, "Hey, I'm at Target in the dollar section. There's so many good like educational toys for the kids, flashcards," and that's all I remember because Maddie's obsessed with flashcards right now. But I feel like even that little connection can just gives us what's needed like throughout a day, like just a little something. It doesn't even have to be hanging out. So I feel like it is good for a lot of the mom groups that I'm in, and I never really post in there, but a lot of women do pretty often. And that just gives you like a sense of community, right? Like people giving you advice and answers and whatever. And so I feel like there's probably a lot of ways to go about friendship after the kids,
Yeah.
but I
And
do like our group.
but I think that's why we click though, because we're not the moms that need to hang out all the time. And I don't just say moms, people. There's people that need to hang out all the time. Like we just can't do that. We cannot. We all work, and then the last of our energy goes to our children and our husbands, and we're all married, and so we do. We share a lot of things that are similar, but I do feel like we are more than a mom group. We're each other's emotional support group. Like so
Yeah.
any big thing going on, any small thing we talk about, and sometimes we want to share, sometimes we overshare, sometimes we don't want to share at all. But we're all very understanding, and we all understand boundaries. It might be because we're older. When you're younger and you have friendships, you're like very passionate about making your point and telling them when something bothers you or you want them to live a better life. And now we're like, that's your life, girl. Like
Yeah.
we're just an older, we're all in our 30s. And so I think we are just such a like no judgment zone, supportive group, and we'll ask each other like, "Oh, my baby, has a rash, or my baby fell, my baby this, my baby that," and we just are there to like help each other through because there's such power in camaraderie between women and between mothers, specifically in this topic. But like my husband just doesn't understand things that I go through all the time, like mom things or mom feelings, or he's very like nonchalant, like, oh, JJ's fine, B. I'm like, I need to talk to other moms,
Yeah.
and we just all seem to think the same, I think.
Yeah. And I think it's really good for the kids too, just to be around other kids for the times that we do hang out. Even if they don't necessarily play with each other, like Maddie specifically, she's still very much in the I'm gonna be over here doing my thing over here. She doesn't like know how to play yet, but I still think it's really good for them to just be around other kids. And when I was thinking about this topic too, it reminded me of the fact that when I was growing up, my mom, and looking, I didn't realize it at the time, but looking back now, my parents had so many friends with kids, and like our birthday parties were out of control. There were so many people, so many kids. And I just think that's like so uncommon. Like, I look back now, I'm like, how did you guys know so many people? Like, how do you know so many people? They're all still their friends.
But they didn't have social
And
media.
I guess, right? Like maybe
We
that's
feel
it. And they just
fulfilled, yeah.
had to stay in touch with who they wanted to stay in touch with. That's a good point. Maybe it's that.
Well, even like growing up, the kids now versus us, we were always with our friends because that's where we got that type of fulfillment, that social fulfillment, where now the kids are like us, they're just on their phones texting, or it's just social media messages, and that fulfills you because you're getting that companionship still extended, even if they're not physically there. And
Yeah.
so I think that's what, yeah, because my mom, either that or they're just way cooler than us. Like they just had a lot of
I
friends.
have no idea. My parents have a ton of friends though. They still to this day they have a ton of friends, like way more than me. I'm like, I have five.
And I also think
So,
though, my mom used to throw these like big old lavish parties for like $40. Like that gets you nowhere nowadays.
well, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I'm like, now it's like dessert tables and all this extra stuff. And back then it's just like ribbons or streamers and balloons and a piñata, and you call it a day. And now it's just so much luxury, and you got to make your group a little smaller.
That's true. I think that going back to just our dynamic and like not hanging out all the time though, I feel like that's just all my friends. Like even some of my friends that don't have kids, I think the last time I saw Rebecca was like, well, I saw Kim and Rebecca at the same time, what, maybe 6 months ago, if not a little longer. Like, and one of us lives in the same town, the other one doesn't. But my point is, like, I think me and just all my friends don't have to constantly see each other to like maintain the friendship. It's just kind of who we all are, or who my half of it, and like my, how they and I relate. Like even Evan and I, like you guys and I, all of us, all of my friends. Like it's maybe once every couple months, if that.
Yeah, and I do think we'll start getting together more when the kids care to interact more. Right now it's parallel play where they play next to each other, but they don't really acknowledge each other. And I think that's fine. But no, I think, yeah, and I actually do know some people who have to hang out. And so maybe it is just us. And want to make it clear though, your group team, your group moms, you guys don't all have to be the same, because even though we have a lot of things in common, like we're not needy friends, which I think is our foundation. We're not needy friends. We don't need to hang out all the time. We are going to celebrate Stephanie this weekend, so that's exciting. But we probably hadn't seen each other since what, Valentine's Day? When is the
No.
last time we
Oh,
hung
when we
out?
exchanged the Easter baskets, but that wasn't hanging out.
Yeah, that was quick. Yeah. See, that
Yeah,
was
that is the last time I saw you guys.
like
Yeah, it's been a
hang out
while.
was the Maddie's
Valentine's Day.
Valentine's party.
That's crazy.
Yes, and it
Do you,
doesn't feel like it.
yeah, it really doesn't. Well, you and I see each other all the time.
Yeah.
But do you have friends that don't have kids that like the dynamic changed after you had JJ?
No, because I don't live where I'm from.
Oh,
And
right.
so like
Mm-hmm.
all my big and like childhood friends, all my friends, we text a lot just like we do, but because they live in a whole different state than I do. And then when I met my I've been in New Mexico 12 years maybe, but we lived in a different small city where I met Steph, and now we're in the larger. And when I moved to the larger, it's like you guys. We work together. You guys are my friends.
Yeah.
So I don't really have much to compare with other friends. It's just been my coworkers who became my friends, aside from Daisy. Daisy and I
Mm-hmm.
were friends before I moved up here. We actually met in the other small city too. She's also from where we all kind of met. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, and like I was saying, like we're all so different, even like political views, even how we sleep with babies, how we raise babies. But I think it's important to have, a group of moms that are supportive and respectful. Like to me, that's key because we don't judge each other. I feel like we all do things slightly different or maybe really different in some cases, and that's okay. We don't judge each other.
Yeah, there's really no judgment, which is good. In any, I'm just thinking like in any of my friend groups, in any aspect of life, like there's really not. I think, but that just
Stephanie
probably
does
just
not
comes with
have time for
age.
that. Yeah. Stephanie's
Yeah.
like,
And I just
nope.
hate drama so much. I was telling my mom the other day, she was telling me about this like dramatic situation with someone she knows. And I'm like, how do people just go about the days with so much drama? Like, I can't even buy into any of it. It's just crazy.
I hate drama. I will avoid it at all costs. I will say the biggest drama queen in my life is my husband. But outside of that, and it's like, because, we're married and then, yeah, anyways, we won't get into that. But I'm saying everyone else, I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to deal with it. Like, I don't have the energy to do it. And especially now with the
Mm-hmm.
baby, like, I just want to. I just need good energy around me. I need good energy to be around my son and to go into my son. And yeah, I hate drama. And
I also just try to give everyone the benefit of the doubt, like how we were talking recently about how you can misinterpret
texting,
text messages. Yeah. And it's really easy to like misunderstand a text message and not get the tone that someone is trying to convey. So instead of reading something and being like getting all offended, I'm just going to say, okay, I'm going to assume that they didn't mean for this to come out rude, and then I don't care. you know? So that's just a
you're not
random
that
little thing that
invested.
came up recently. Yeah,
That's
exactly.
what I mean. We're just not needy, or we're just not too attached. Like, we obviously love each other, we care for each other, we're all good friends, but we're not so attached that my world's going to fall apart if,
It's
something
not like
happens.
that high school fighting friendship where you're just like,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly, where your world is just falling apart because you're fighting with your friend. Yeah.
Yeah, and I even like Stephanie's like, I give everyone the benefit of the doubt when it comes to like texting tones because we don't know. And I'm like, I probably come off rude sometimes, and but my friends know me. They know I'm not rude. Sometimes I'm not reading what they're saying and I'm just like texting, and half the time
Yeah.
I don't even text right. Like if you read my things, I don't even proofread. I just hit send. Like y'all need to figure it out.
Yeah.
But then like we were texting, and we're trying to go to the zoo as a group, and Daisy's like, oh, George wants to come, can we wait for him? I didn't even read that. All I put was, no, let's go as early as possible, or I want to go as early as possible, blah blah blah. And then when I read it afterwards, I'm like,
I didn't even
oh.
see that.
So I'm
Yeah.
like, she probably thinks I don't want George to come, but she's like, B, I already know you're in your own world. And I'm like,
I
George,
didn't even
George
see
can
that.
come. I'm not leaving
Well,
him out. Yeah.
also sometimes with the texting thread, like we just
You
have
pick
a
up.
bunch of
Yeah.
texts going. Like you and I are talking about the podcast. You know, we have the group chat going, trying to plan
We have
the
another
zoo
one.
trip, and then we have other ones, and then my mom's calling, and like so sometimes I just like can't even respond, and then I'll show up 2 days later, like sorry guys, I've been MIA, like
I
yeah, yeah,
literally,
down.
I don't know if I have like ADHD. They say like so many, people in our age group were not properly diagnosed, but I'm like, I have something, I got to just throw it out there. If not, I'm going to forget. Or maybe I have
Yeah.
little attention span. I don't know, whatever you want to call it, but I will text Stephanie a whole book, completely forget that I texted, go about my day. And then she messages me like a day or two later.
12 hours later or the next day. Yeah.
And then I'm like, wait, what were we talking about? And I send her a whole book and I don't even remember because I like my thoughts are going, but I don't get caught up or hung up on the conversation or topic. Like
Yeah.
I think that's why we all work together because we're just I don't know,
There's a
we're so
lot going
different, but it
on.
works. Yeah.
Yeah, true. But anyway, yeah, I think we're kind of rambling, but I just wanted
Well,
I just wanted to chat about friendships
we're just
and
saying mom friendships are very important and the dynamic can be different. You guys can disagree on many things, but I think as long as there's a lot of support and respect in the mothering aspect of life, you guys can make it work.
even your friendships like that you keep with people without kids after, and as you guys evolve into like different parts of life, I feel like it's still doable. Everyone just has to be understanding, and I feel like that just comes with age, as we keep saying, because we think we're so old, but yeah.
well, but I do specifically think mom friends are important because we're all researching about, especially first time moms, or maybe even if you're not even a first time and you've experienced things like JJ fell and I like, was so worried and Googling and using Chat GPT and trying to like put it all together. And sometimes it's nice to just throw things like that into the group and one mom who's been through it, like, hey, it's okay. This is what the doctor told me when that happened to me. And there's just so much comfort in having a mom group friend. And so I get all the people, all the moms trying to find their village. Feel very blessed that we found our village. And I think it's definitely worth it.
Yeah, hopefully it can just continue to grow.
Yes.
We are welcoming of other moms that want to come hang out.
Yes. not like
Um,
not like that whole 30-minute poolside conversation. I
oh,
I love people. I swear I love moms. It was caught off guard, y'all.
yeah. Um, but yeah, anyway, I guess that's it. Thank you guys for tuning in as always. Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, TikTok, Instagram. Follow us, like and subscribe. All of the above.
Hey, catch you later.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Living in the moment, it's the mom life.